Now, I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I watched Supergirl and I actually really enjoyed it. It did not have a confusing and overcrowded cast of characters, which are difficult to track and follow. It did not have an overly complicated plot and subplots, which only get concluded in the subsequent films. And the most dreadful of all, it did not have an overdose of excessive graphic violence. The screenplay was rather episodic. Now, I have read some Superman comics and none Supergirl comics. And as much as I've understood, the whole structure of the film was episodic in a way as issues are written for comics when they are released, which I thought was a nice treatment for the film. In the first 10 minutes of the film, the story and the plot is established well, and in the next 15 minutes, it's made completely clear that what are the stakes of the film and where the whole story is headed. Now, this done, the story does not reveal the backstory and the origin story of Supergirl. That is done episodically at intervals throughout the film. Now, this was the overall structure and skeleton of the film, and for me, it worked pretty effectively. Most of the questions are answered easily, but not all, and all the questions are answered only towards the end of the film. This structure worked well for me also because whenever the action and all the fighting was getting too overbearing for me, the film was breaking into flashbacks, and that was giving me good breathers throughout the film, and I could pace and follow the film easily and comfortably as well. This storytelling did not feel taxing, exhausting, or tiring at any point of time. Now, after watching the film, when I came back home, I did look up for a few reviews. All of them were bad. I seriously don't know why people are hating this film so much, but one thing which I saw repeatedly was that Lobo's character was being bashed through and through. I didn't really find it as off because as soon as the character is introduced in the film, it's made very clear that he suffers from a god complex, hence no empathy, and his behavior from that point of view did not feel off for me at any point. There are so many visuals in the film which are absolutely breathtaking. I watched this film on a regular screen in 3D, and while I was watching the film, I constantly kept feeling that it would have been such a wonderful experience to watch those sequences at a wide IMAX screen. So in case you are planning to watch this film, and if you have the option of going to an IMAX screen, please go ahead and do that. The song selection that they have made for this film, whatever goes in the soundtrack and in the background, the songs are really nice, and as sad as it is, I have not heard all the songs. I'm going to be digging out the playlists for this film, and I will compare that playlist with Superman's playlist as well, and I'll see which songs I like better. Now, apart from the structural and the aesthetical aspects of this film, it also has a very strong philosophical base. If I remember the first Spider-Man film, the Tobey Maguire one, it had only one strong philosophical punch, which for me was the reason why I liked the film so much, and this film has two. Now, I'm not going to spoil it for you by telling you in detail and exactly what those two strong punches are, but one of them deals with the idea of being good, which is like the core philosophy of Superman and Supergirl. And the other one deals with the idea of revenge. Now, anyone who has ever tackled with questions about these two ideas, those dialogues, those quotes are gonna hit deep for you. Now, comparing Supergirl with the Superman film that came out in 2025, I enjoyed Supergirl a lot more. Although when I checked, Superman was made with a budget of $225 million, and it went ahead to earn more than $600 million, I believe. And Supergirl is really struggling at the box office to even gain back its initial budget. But I think this is a much better film than the Superman film that we had. Now, it is a possibility that I did not enjoy the Superman film as much because of the circumstances that I watched it under, which were not very pleasant and nice. But the character of Supergirl is so much more layered, and it's overall, the film is so much richer than the Superman film. Now, Supergirl was struggling with grief, and she was struggling with her internal rage throughout the film, which was played really well, and she was constantly made physically vulnerable in the film by putting her into different kinds of physical environments, which really played well for the film. And this, I think, was exactly the reason why it was so satisfying to watch Supergirl in action whenever it happened, because like, yes, now they're gonna have it. For me, this film was a perfect balance of a superhero adventure film which made you worry and pushed you to get concerned about the characters, but never went overboard with the idea and maintained a basic sense of comfort while you were watching the film. If you watched the film already, do let me know how you liked it. I would love to have your comments. I want to know why the film is not working for so many people out there. And if you haven't watched it, I would encourage you to go ahead and venture and watch the film, preferably at an IMAX screen. It's not all that bad. And I know I had not made a video in a very long time, and this is one maybe after a whole year or something. I've started reading again, and I started watching movies again, so hopefully I'll be making more videos. I have this notebook, this Superman themed notebook that I have purchased, and I'm writing all the scripts for my YouTube videos in this, so that's some motivation, some cheap fancy stationery I've bought to push me and motivate me to make these videos more. Alright guys, so basically that's it, and keep listening, keep watching, keep reading. Cheers.